It is back to school time across LA County. Over the next couple of weeks, more than 1.4 million students in the county will be back in class, and the person overseeing it all is LA County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Debra Duardo. She is here in studio with us. We appreciate you being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So first of all, talk about your role, right? Because there are, what, 80 districts in the county, and you oversee all of them. How are you supporting these dozens of districts, which are very different and have very different needs?
Yeah, so there's actually 80 school districts in LA County. They all have their own Board of Education. They all have their own superintendent. But as the county superintendent, I work with all 80 to approve their budgets, to make sure they're following their local control accountability plan, and to make sure they have all the resources that they need, professional development, training, and a lot of business services. We're primarily here to help support all 80 of our districts.
That's a lot of districts to oversee. So I want to talk to you about the state of juvenile detention facilities in the county. The LA Times has recently written about this. There was a state investigation calling them unsuitable. There was even an overdose death. Pretty scathing report by the state. What is being done to improve the conditions there? Yeah,
really unfortunate. A lot has been done. We've been working with the Department of Probation, and these facilities are probation's facilities. So they've done a lot of work. They moved most of the students from 2 facilities that were found unsuitable and moved them to 1 location in Downey. Our role is the schools. We run the schools within those facilities. So we have teachers and principals. We're doing a lot of work around wellness and mental health and making sure that these children who've experienced a lot of trauma are able to access their instructional program and that they're coming to school every single day.
And I know you're well suited for that. You have a background in social work. So many of the issues in schools that we're dealing with, the mental health, the chronic absences, the poverty level, the homelessness, all apply to your background, right?
Absolutely, and it's one of our top priorities. We know that children cannot learn unless they are mentally and physically healthy. So especially coming out of this pandemic, the Surgeon General has identified this as a time of crisis in terms of isolation and disconnectedness. So all of our schools are really looking at not just academics, but what can we do to make sure that students feel a real sense of belonging, connectedness, that they have access to counseling and support, and any barriers that are preventing them from doing well in school.
And you also have a really interesting and pretty amazing background, your social work background, but also you were a dropout yourself. You were a young mother. So you understand where these kids are coming from, and chronic absences has been a huge issue across the county. What are you doing to make sure kids who are coming maybe from the same place that you once were are not going to drop out of school?
Absolutely, and the issue with chronic absenteeism has only gotten worse since the pandemic, when everybody's lives were disrupted and their routines, have completely fallen apart. What we want to make sure is that students feel a sense of connection, that we're reaching out to them, to their parents. We're making sure that the quality of instruction that they're getting is strong, but also making school fun, making sure that we have arts and music and sports and things that engage students, and building relationships between teachers and students and peer-to-peer, making sure that everybody feels welcomed and safe and supported is a priority. And we're still catching up on some of the learning loss, so there's a lot of work that's gone into that. And we're fortunate that the state has invested historic dollars in terms of mental health and well-being. Our community schools program, which is really looking at schools as the hub of community services within a district. So making sure that any type of barrier, whether it's housing or health or well-being, that students have access. And one of the things that we were able to do is to work with the Department of Mental Health and a company called Hazel Health to make sure that every student in LA County has access to mental health, telehealth services at no cost to the student or their family or their district.
It's really important, and the highlight on it is long overdue, I think, with everything we've been seeing in recent years. Dr. Debra Duardo, thank you for joining us this morning, and good luck with the upcoming school year.
Thank you so much.
And